Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Cindy.
And in studio with us we have Micah. Micah, if somebody needed to get in contact with us, what would they need to do?
For math homework help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357. Everywhere else, call 1-866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org. We're online at dothemathonline.net and on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, nicely done. So, Micah, where do you attend school and what grade are you in?
I'm in 6th grade and I go to Van Horn.
And Van Horn is home of the Hornets, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
I have been there for 4 years, almost 4 years now.
All right, so you're pretty comfortable.
Yes.
All right, well, next year is going to be a big year. You're going to go to junior high. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you're looking forward to when you get there? Or have you not thought about it much?
I haven't really thought about it much yet because we just started the school year for
Yeah,
6th.
so you've got a long 6th grade year to go. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you've heard that?
I've heard about the two schools. There's Actus and Thompson.
Okay. Well, there's quite a few, but those are probably one of the ones you're going to be attending, probably?
Mm-hmm, probably.
Right. Well, the one big thing is you're familiar that you're going to go to like different classrooms for different classes, right?
Yes, we have a teacher that does math, and then we switch to ELA, and then we have writing.
So you think you'll like having a lot of instructors as opposed to just one?
I think I'd like it more with more instructors.
All right, good. You can learn more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? We'll find out soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to do some work today?
Yes.
Good. Well, I like that enthusiasm, but before we get you busy on some work, we're first of all going to take a look at today's Math in the News. All right, today's Math in the News has to do with an event that just took place over this last weekend. So my question to you, first of all, Micah, is do you follow professional football at all?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite team?
Steelers.
The Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, so we're in California, and you follow and like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is there a particular reason why?
I just like them. Our whole family really does.
Okay, good. So the family likes them, so you become a fan also. It's kind of a thing. You just kind of like go along with them, right? And I, especially a fan of their running back, Najee Harris, their rookie this year. But see, then I grew up in New York, so I'm a New York Giants fan. So I don't think either of our teams are doing very well this year. But
Yeah, last year the Steelers were doing really good.
And it's still early.
Yes.
All right.
Anything could happen.
That's right. And we just had a record happen this last weekend. Are you familiar with this?
No, not really.
The longest field goal in NFL history.
The longest?
Longest. I took this right out of the newspaper.
Oh.
Right? Do you know the Baltimore Ravens?
Yes,
Yeah, of course
they are
you-
basically our enemies.
That's right. I was going to say they're in your division, right? So, the kicker for the Ravens, Justin Tucker, hit a 66-yard field goal to break the record.
66, that's long.
The old record was 64.
Oh.
All right. Now, Tucker has made 90.6% of his career attempts. That's the highest ever. So he's hitting 9 out of 10 during his entire career, which is pretty high. He's completed, now when he kicks long ones between 40 and 49 yards, he's still over 90%. All right? Now, there are people that look just at numbers and percentages and things like that. Do you think you'd like a career doing that?
No.
No?
No.
Well, this guy, he's the NFL Director of Data and Analytics, found that on kicks between 40 and 49 yards, Tucker misses the center of the upright. So you know you've got the uprights here, right? The field goal post?
Yeah.
He hits it directly in the center
Directly?
and is only off center by 1 yard.
1?
All right? So he's very consistent in where he hits the ball through, right? Because you could hit it anywhere in there. You could be very close to the post and it's still going to count. But if you're right down the middle, you have a higher rate of success probably because it's going to go right down the middle. Right? You don't have to worry about hitting the bar or going outside of it and things like that. All right? So this 66-yard field goal, the record, marked the 50th consecutive fourth quarter field goal he has hit. So when it comes to crunch time at the end of the game,
Like when you have like 5 seconds left on the clock.
right, it's the game's on the line. He has hit field goals 50 in a row.
50.
50 in a row. So
That
if
is
you
ridiculous.
want to send your field goal kicker out there at the end of the game, you have a good bet that he's going to make it. All right, so let's take a look at this. Now, a lot of times, field goal kickers, so we can see where the 50-yard line is here, where all the guys are lined up, basically.
Yes.
Usually, they kick it from there maybe or closer to the field goal, right, to the post. He's a little farther back, isn't he? Right, so that's why this is a record right here, 66. So let's take a look at it.
Okay.
So there it is. There. So it's going to take a while to get there. And when you look at that, it's kind of hard to tell what happened. But it hit the bar on the bottom. Did you see that?
Yes.
So watch again. They're going to show it again here real quick.
It bounced right on, like almost in the center of it.
Right. And that shows again that he hits it right in the center. So let's take a look at this again. All right, it's on its way. And you can see it's pretty centered. Hits the bar and goes backwards. Now, if it had gone forward, it wouldn't have counted.
Yes.
But, you know, I mean, that's just a pretty amazing thing right there, that he was able to do that and hit that 66-yarder and all of those numbers that go with it. He's a 90% field goal guy, right?
Yeah.
Not too bad. Too bad he wasn't on the Steelers, huh?
Yeah. Steelers would have gotten.
All right, and that is today's Math in the News. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon. As a reminder, if you phone in today, and today is the final day that you can call in and win yourself a ticket to the Kern County Fair, because the fair ends this coming Sunday. I think that is maybe the 3rd. But anyway, you've got today is your last day. I know we've had a couple of kids last week and yesterday take advantage of that call in. We did the math problem and they got themselves a ticket to the Kern County Fair. And Do the Math likes to go out and explore different places. And recently we had an opportunity to head out to Minter Field. Let's take a look at that.
We are at Minter Field Air Museum, and I am with Ronald Pierce. How are you
Yes.
doing today?
I'm doing fine.
And can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
I was born in 1937, so Minter Field means something to me because it was active when I was here. And my dad worked out here, and as a youngster, I came out with him and actually seen the airplanes and hear them and be out here during the war.
So when did you actually start working here yourself?
I started with the museum about 10, 15 years ago.
And what is your position here?
I'm chairman of the board of Minter Field Air Museum.
And what does that entail?
That entails a headache of being sure that everything is done right.
And can you give us a little history of the Minter Field?
Minter Field was actually started prior to the war. It was started in the late 30s, early 40s. They were starting building. They actually had cadets graduating in 1941
So
out of flight school.
were they building airplanes here, or were they being trained to fly?
This was the largest basic training base west of the Mississippi. They graduated over 11,000 cadets to go fly and give their all.
Was that in a course of 1 year, or was that a course over a couple of years?
From 1941 till the end of the war, 1945.
And right now where we're standing is the entrance to the museum. Can you kind of point some things out?
Yeah, this building is actually one of the few real existing buildings that were here during the war. This is actually the firehouse that was here during the war. We've got documents of different things of when they dedicated the field. The original field was called Lerdo Field because Lerdo Highway, and they decided that they wanted to name it after somebody important in the area, and they named it after Hugh Minter, a graduate of Bakersfield High that actually was killed in a mid-air collision at March Air Force Base in 1932.
Oh, wow.
So that's how it got its name. And if you look at any of the airplanes that were here during the war, they will have an L on them, which stands for Lerdo.
So let's go ahead, because there's so much information here, but there's also another room.
Yes, there is.
And this is really amazing to see all of the uniforms.
Over here, we have dedicated to the WASPs, which are Women's Air Service Pilots.
So what was their role?
Their role was to take the airplanes from the manufacturer to the base, and also take airplanes from one base to another, come in and help the students. They were not actually U.S. Army Air Corps. They were civilians that were given the right to support us in World War II.
When you say they were taking the airplanes, were they actually flying the airplanes?
They were actually flying them from one place to the other. As far as I know, some of them were killed. We have one that I know of that is still missing, and she took off at what is LAX now in a P-51 and never made it to her destination. They figure she's in the Bay.
Oh, wow. Well, there is so much more. We have more rooms to look at, but that is it for right now. So for right now, we're going to send it back to you, Mike, in the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Marylou, and we will check with you guys back in just a little bit. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30, and right now we're going to go to the phones. Harmneet, how are you this afternoon?
Good.
What grade are you in?
In 4th grade?
All right, and I think you're working on rounding some numbers, correct?
Yes.
All right, so as soon as you're ready, tell Cindy what you're working on. She'll put it up on the board, and then you guys can work on it together.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, tell me your problem.
Wait, 1 second. Okay, yes. My problem is 12,387.
Okay. 12,387, and what are you doing with it?
Underlining.
Say that again?
Underlining.
Okay, what are you underlining?
12.
Nope. So Harmneet, are you underlining the 1 or the 2?
2.
Okay, just
Okay.
the 2. And does that mean you're rounding to that place value? Is that what that is?
Yes.
All right, so now I
Okay.
think Cindy can help you a little easier now.
Yes, now I know what you're doing. All right. So tell me what you know so far about the problem.
I know so far is that 2,000?
Okay, so you're going to keep the 2 and then change this to 000? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, and then how did you know to do that?
Well, I thought too, so I said there's a comma, and in the comma says 1,000, so that means 2,000.
Okay, so what about the 1 from the 12? Do you think it should still be there?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And then how come we got rid of 3, 8, and 7? Do you know?
Because we put 0, 0, 0 on their place.
Okay, because you're underlining the 2, right? So you're wanting to round that one.
Yes.
Now, is there ever a case where that might change to a higher number? Have you learned that yet?
No.
So whenever like the number right to the right of it, so the 3 in this case, if that was a 5 or bigger, so 5, 6 or higher, then that would make the 2 go up 1.
Oh,
Okay, so since that's only a 3, that's why this stays a 12 right here.
Okay.
So Harmneet, while we've got you on the phone, let's just try another one. We won't use so many digits, all right?
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
try 346
Okay.
and underline the 4, all right? So Harmneet, work with Cindy on this one. You want to round that 4 if it needs to be rounded. And first of all, talk about what place that is and how you know if it needs to be rounded up or not.
Okay.
So what place, do you know what place that 4 is in?
It is in the 10.
Good, yes, yes. And so then we want to either keep it a 4 or make it go up 1, and that all depends on what's next to it on the right side. So we're looking at the 6. Okay?
Okay.
Do you think that the 4 should stay what it is, or do you think it should go up 1?
I think it should stay the same.
Okay, so what is, if you read this to yourself as 346 and you're trying to round it, you're basically saying, is it closer to 340 or 350?
It is closer to 350.
Right, so this one rounds to 350, and here's why. It's because right next to it on the right, it's a 6, and anytime it's 5 or more, so 6 is more than 5, anytime it's 5 or more, it makes it go up. So the 4 goes up 1 and becomes a 5.
Yes.
Okay, that's because 346 is closer to 350.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
that help you out, Harmneet?
Yes.
Let me try one more with you. I know they gave you a round of applause because I gave you one, but I want to just make sure of this, all right? So let's do one more.
Okay.
247. And underline the 4 again.
Okay.
So what will that round up to be, or will it be remaining a 4?
So do we want to keep it as a 4, or do we want to make it go up 1?
Stay the same.
Okay, so then read it again. 247, is it closer to 240 or 250?
250.
Uh-huh. Okay, because 7, is it bigger than 5 or less than 5?
Less than. I mean, bigger than 5.
Yeah, anytime that number that's like next door to it on the right side, if it's bigger than 5, if it's 5 or more, I should say. So if it's 5 or anything above 5, you add 1 to the number you underlined.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, so hopefully it makes a little more sense now, because I know when you said 250, it was kind of with a question in there also.
Yeah.
Harmneet, for calling in today, you've got yourself a ticket to the Kern County Fair, so congratulations on that. And Harmneet, remember, if you need some more help with that, all you have to do is give us a call. We're here until 5:30 this afternoon. All right? Young man, Micah, over to the board. It is time to finally get you to work, young man. All right? So I've got a beautiful problem set right here for you. All right? So, Micah, let's take a look at this. If you just move over to the side a little bit, that way you and Cindy can both work on this. So it says 8 plus 2 is equal to 16,106. Does that make sense?
No.
No. Take a look at all of them And none of them make sense if you just look at them the way they're written and you think in conventional terms. So you're trying to figure out what 20 plus 3 is equal to. Now this is probably going to take you a couple of minutes. And what I want you to do is with Cindy, I'm going to give you like 3 minutes right now to kind of look at it and come up with something. If you don't solve it right now, that's fine. We'll come back to it, but I want you to start thinking about it. So you and Cindy together, I want you to discuss what you're looking at and what you're thinking.
So what I see, 8 plus 2 doesn't equal this number,
Right.
but I see a pattern. 8 times 2 equals 16.
I see that
And
also.
then we have
yeah.
numbers that come right after.
Okay.
And then 5 times 4 equals 20, which would be right here. And then we have 2 numbers that come after. 9 times 6 equals 54. Then we have 3 numbers come after. And then we have 7 times 5, which has 35. And then 3 numbers come after. So
Okay.
my guess would be that 20 times 3, and we would get 60.
So that's going to be at least the start of it.
Yes.
I agree.
But
Now let's figure out what about the back part of it, the right-hand side, the numbers there. Did you see any patterns with those?
So for now, what I would suggest, maybe grab the red pen.
red.
So
And
it'll
next
show
to the
up, yeah.
question mark, write your 60 down at the bottom because you think that's how you're going to start, right? There you go.
60. Now, it just depends. Do we have 2 or do we have 3 numbers? What
Well,
are
I
they?
think we don't know for sure yet, right? Because we have to figure out what's going on with that part.
'Cause
So we need
it's-
to look if there's any patterns to the problem
Wait.
that help us get the numbers that come next.
I think I see a pattern. I don't know if it would make sense, but what if this part was meant to be addition and multiplication? 8 plus 2 equals 10.
Okay.
5 plus 4 equals 9. 9 plus 6 equals 15. 7 plus 5 equals 12. And 20 plus 3 equals 23.
Okay.
Now we just need that one number that goes there.
Okay.
Now you don't know if it's one number.
Yes, it could be 2.
It could be. So you're on a roll
in which
right now.
case we
You
change our
keep it going,
comma,
brother.
right? But we got
Yes.
at least that part of it. All right. So we got in the top where we're given stuff, we have to look at that last number, right? Mm-hmm. So you see any patterns that go with how they might have gotten?
The last one?
So far we've had multiply and add. So
This isn't really a pattern, but I feel like I see something. 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, maybe 1.
well, that would be if we're trying to come up with like the next problem.
Yeah, I guess.
So how does say 6 in the first one relate to 8 and 2? How could you get that?
How would I get 6?
A 6.
Well,
So here's what I suggest you do. You already know that in the first one you used the 16 and the 10, right? Cross those out. And then the next one you use the 20 and the 9.
and then the next we use is the 54 and the 15.
Right, so cross out the numbers you have used. Now the numbers that are left, see if there's any pattern with what you've been doing so far. So you have a 6, 1, 3, and 2.
And since everything else was mathematical, maybe it's mathematical, just not what we've already done. So
Hold on. Oh, I thought I saw. Wait. I thought I saw something with these 2.
All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause on that for a moment.
Yeah.
All right? We'll bring this back to you in just a moment, all right?
Okay.
But right now we're going to go to the phones. And Sophia, you are a 4th grade student from Bill L. Williams, correct?
Yes.
All right, as soon as you're ready, let's hear the math problem you're working on, and Cindy will be able to help you. So go ahead and read it.
It's 1,500 times 150.
All right, say it one more time for us.
1,500, 150.
1,550?
Oh no, 1,500 times
Oh.
150.
So 1,500 times 150.
Yes.
There we go.
okay, 1,500 times 150, and you're solving it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, tell me the method you use right now to do multiplication when it has multiple digits.
Well, we usually
Say that again?
I said, what do you mean by method?
Like, explain to me, I mean, do you use an area model? Do you do like arrays? I don't know what they're called, but do you split up the numbers and do it that way? What way do you normally do it when you're learning this?
Well, we usually, we don't put into boxes or circles or anything. We usually just multiply, I would say.
Okay, so tell me what you would do here to start it.
Well, to start, we would write it down. We would do 0 times 0 is 0.
So would you put the 150 underneath the 1,500?
Yes.
Okay, and then make it a multiplication right there. So I'm going to erase this part. Okay. So 0 times 0, okay. Go ahead.
This is 0 times 0, so 0. So I would put that down, and then I would do 0 times 0 with that in the other middle. And then 0 times 5 would be 0 as well. Then I put, but do we still need a place for this for 3 numbers?
It keeps cutting out. Say that again.
Do we still need a place number if it keeps on, if it's like a 3 numbers? Do we need a placeholder?
Oh, do we need to put a comma in there right now? No.
Well, yeah, she's thinking about
Not
the
yet.
placeholder thing.
When you get
so-
to your final answer, you're going to want to put a placeholder in there.
Okay.
So you did 0 times 0, 0 times 0, 0 times 5. What else?
0 times 1.
Okay. All right, so we're done with the 0. And now we have a 5. Do you know what to do next?
Yeah, I think we do 5 times 0 is 0.
Okay. Do you remember putting an extra space right here, like either an X or a 0?
Yes, I do.
First, because we're moving over a space up here into our tens digit? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we do 5 times 0.
And then 5 times 0 again.
Okay.
And then 5 times 5, which is 25.
Okay, so I put my 5 and I carry my 2 up to the 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Then 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
And then do we add that together or do we go back with the 1?
So we're done with the 5 now. So we are going to go to the 1. So how many placeholder zeros do I need in my third row?
2.
Good. Because now we're in the hundreds place. Okay, so now we have the 1. And we're going to multiply it. So 1 times 0.
0.
Okay, what's next?
The 1 times 0 again.
Right. What's
Which is
next?
0.
Uh-huh.
Then 5 times 1, which is 5.
Okay.
And then 1 times 1, which is 1.
Good. Now what do we do with this stuff?
Add it together.
Okay. So 0 plus 0 plus 0, right? That's just 0.
Yeah.
And that one's all zeros, so that's just 0. And the third one's all 0, so that's just 0. Okay, now I'm at 0 plus 5 plus 0.
So that would be 5.
And then I'm at 7 plus 5.
12.
Okay, carry the 1. Now what?
1 plus 1.
Mm-hmm. So that would be 2. Now we need to put in our placeholder.
So 225,000.
Yep, that's correct.
Nicely done, Sophia. For your effort, you've got yourself a ticket to the Kern County Fair, so congratulations on that. If you do need some more help, to give us a call. We're here until 5:30. There's a lot of different ways to multiply, and that's simply one of the ways right there. We have phone tutors, as I said, until 5:30 this afternoon. Don't forget, you can email us at dothemath@kern.org anytime you like, preferably on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, so we can do the problem for you on a Tuesday or Wednesday on one of the programs. Micah is a 6th grade student from Van Horn Elementary.
Yes.
You've been there a few years, waiting to get some other instructors in junior high.
Yes.
And you've done some great work so far. I know we're still working on one of your problems. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
But I wanted to say, for your great efforts so far, you've got yourself a meal at Grillin' Burgers. So congratulations on that. And That's not a bad deal, huh? You didn't
Not
even
a
get done
bad
with the
deal.
problem yet. You've already got a meal. All right. Hey, you know what? We've got another opportunity. We're going to go back out to Minter Field and visit with Marylou. All right, Marylou, what's up?
And thanks, Mike. We are back again at the Minter Field Air Museum, and now I am with Alan Anderson.
Yes.
How are you doing? Can you give everybody a quick rundown of exactly your position here and who you are?
I'm the financial officer. I'm the bean counter.
And how long have you been here, working here?
Oh, 15 years, 10, I don't know, a while. Since I retired and the wife decided I had to find something to do. So, you know, it was like, let's go out to the museum and see what the museum's about.
And can you tell us the room we're in right now?
This is what we call the North Room. It's had a big history, but the biggest thing we have here is our link trainer.
Now, looking at it, it's like, ooh, kids are going to come and go like, it's a ride. Can I ride it?
And that's how it turned out originally, because Link made it, and then the Army didn't want to buy it. They ended up putting it in entertainment places. The Army finally realized they were killing too many pilots, so they got a hold of Link and they started using these. And so they had rooms full of, buildings full of these. So a normal cadet would spend probably 10 to 15 hours in a Link trainer as part of their training while they were here.
So this is an actual trainer for pilots on how to fly.
Yes, and it's for flying at night when you don't have anything except the radio and a beacon to fly on. So it's not like you look down and see the city or the highway you're supposed to be flying on.
Do you know the year that this was built?
About 1942.
1942 this was built.
Yeah.
So when they were using that here when they were training pilots.
Oh yes, oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so because I have done some training at North High School in their department there, but it's all new technology, and you sit in a chair and you look at a screen, but this is like a real life little airplane. And I noticed not only the airplane, but we have something over here at the desk as well. How is this connected to the airplane?
The desk is what the instructor uses to make sure that the pilot is going where he's supposed to. So he has his own set of gauges over here so he can see elevation and what direction he's going. This mouse has a wheel on it that was an ink wheel, and it would actually move around a piece of paper and fly down the path. If your pilot was online, he would end up with his ink mark would be on what they had told him to go.
So these are like the ink marks, correct? The paths that they were following?
This is a radio beacon. This would be one letter or two letters going and coming, and as you would listen to the Morse code, it would get stronger on one side or stronger on the other side if you got off to the center.
So you had to make sure that you had equal sound on both sides to know that you were on this path.
Some of the pilots would fly a little bit less on one side, and they would fly down towards the edge of it, just because it sort of seemed easier to have the difference instead of being even.
It looks easy, and so it is to the overconfident. But one instrument, the altimeter, escapes his eye. He forgets that he is losing height too fast.
What are those in the drawer right
Okay.
there?
So this is the Morse code generator. So it's making the dots and
Sending the codes.
It's sending the code. Over here you can mess with the pilot, because you can add rush noise, you can add all kinds of crazy stuff. You didn't want to make this guy mad because he had the controls to be able to take it to where it's really weak. It wouldn't be a strong signal at all. Over here on this side, he could actually add wind, direction and speed of wind to try to blow you off course. The beacon's solid, but if the wind's blowing, it's going to constantly try to push you away.
Let's look a little bit more at the actual little flight. So So what does it run on?
Let's get around here to the front.
Okay. Oh, it turns.
That is a vacuum operated motor.
Oh my goodness. So this is all vacuum operated.
All on 3 inches of vacuum. So if you look at, or there's a valve right here that slides back and forth. So when it's open, like this, the valve is closed and the vacuum is trying to close that. So as it turns, each one of those little valves pull it a little bit, and it all adds up to moving this thing from one side to the other.
So when the pilots were in this was actually movable as you fly. And it would go around.
Yep.
Wow. Does it even go, because it goes around, does it go up and down as well? Does it go vertical?
Once I get you in it, yes it will.
Now, what mathematics would they need, would the pilots need for this, and also whoever is the trainer at the desk?
Well, you're going to have the math of how fast you're flying, what your direction is, where you're going, and where you need to turn. So you're going to have to mathematically figure out your whole route from going from one airport to another. Let's say from here to Paso Robles, and you're gonna fly, let's say 2 or 3 different beacons. So you're gonna start out on one beacon, and you're gonna go so far, and then you're gonna pick up another beacon. And you have to know where that intersection is so you can change your radio to pick up that other beacon, so you can turn and fly, and then pick up the other one to go on into, let's say,
now, when we talk beacon, and for students, they are thinking also mileage. Are beacons a certain amount of mileage? Does it depend on that?
They could be any place. You could have a beacon that was 10 miles away from another beacon, or you could have a beacon that was 100 miles away. So you would actually, like a jigsaw puzzle, you would figure out which path you're going to take to get from point A to point B.
Now, where are those beacons being transmitted from?
Ground stations.
Okay.
And they're spread throughout. We don't use them very much anymore because of GPS, but in the old days, that's how you flew at night.
So you had to know where those beacons were?
Yes, you had your maps, and then so you figured out on your map, and you knew that you were flying at a certain speed. So in that speed, you knew that you were going to spend 20 minutes before you were going to turn. So at 19 minutes, you're going to start figuring out where your other beacon is, so you can pick that up and turn and then fly up that beacon.
So students really pilots needed to use that distance equals rate times time formula.
And speed and all the rest of the crazy stuff. Yeah. And then if the wind's blowing, it's going to try to blow you off course, so your ground speed might not be the same as your air speed.
Okay, and Mike, when we come back, I am going to be getting in this and doing a little flying. So we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, there you go. Always exciting to have Marylou out there doing those types of things. And I know she's worked on some other aviation things in the past. So we'll see how she does with one of the original ones and how those work. In studio, we have Micah, a 6th grade student from Van Horn Elementary, and you were in the middle of a problem.
Yes.
So Micah, go ahead, and you and Cindy go ahead and keep working on this, and let us know what you're doing.
So the only numbers that really matter right now are 6, 1, 3, and 2. I'm trying to decide though. I feel like it has something to do with division, multiplication, something like that. But
So we've already used multiplication to get the 60, and we used addition to get the 23.
yes,
So it's got to be one of the different operations we haven't used if it is math, right?
division or subtraction.
Okay.
6 take away 3 now. 2 take away 1.
Well, take a look at your first
Yeah,
problem.
look
You
at
have 8
your
and 2.
numbers in your problems and how they relate to the answer.
Well, we had 16 and we had 10, and then 6 is the only one remaining.
So how does 6 relate to the 8 and the 2 of the original 8 plus 2 part?
8 subtracted by 2.
Okay, would that work on the others?
5 take away 1 here. Wait, yes, yes. Cross that out and cross that out. I think I got the answer here. Eraser.
Why are you erasing that?
Because 20 take away 3 is 17. And we put the comma, and then we have our answer.
Oh, there we go. Nice
So
move right there, young man.
602,317.
There you go. Nicely done. So say it for me again, because there's one thing I want to help you with in how you said it, and maybe Cindy caught it too. So say it again, the answer.
602,317.
Now, you
So
said
you
it two
corrected
different ways.
yourself. So,
Yeah.
so what did you realize?
And 602. It's supposed to be 602,000.
Because and means
Yes.
decimal
and-
point, right?
Yeah, and we don't want decimals here.
Not here, right?
So I can erase this, right?
Oh,
If you
it's
want to, go ahead. You
Oh.
can't erase it with the marker, though. There you go.
Just cutting through that.
We'll find out.
Yep.
Nicely done. So it's all ready for another student. But we've already done it, right? And hopefully
Yes.
everybody was watching you do it. You did it correctly.
Yes.
So I like how you caught yourself with the 602,000, because it's a little technicality thing, but it's being able to speak properly when you're using mathematics.
I'm excited for my next question that I have.
Oh, good. Well, you know what? You're going to have to hold your horses there, young man, because we've got another student on the line. Grayson, how are you this afternoon? Hello, Grayson. Oh, okay. Never mind about that. Right now, oh, you know what we were going to do? I forgot about this. It's a good thing, because our friends at CTEC over by Independence High School, they've been putting together some great videos for this year. And right now, we're going to learn a little. You like 3D printing?
3D printing?
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
You might want to pay attention to this right now.
Our program is very unique because it focuses specifically on a wide range of careers in the 3D animation field. The jobs offered after completion of this course are anything from animators, character designers, modelers, riggers, and texture artists.
I've always really been into drawing, and 3D animation seemed like a different type of medium, I guess, for drawing, because it's on the computer, so it took my interest.
We tackle all the aspects of storytelling with the creation of 2D and 3D modeling.
We work with a lot of software, models, and a lot of references.
3D animation has always been a passion of mine, and the ability to create entire worlds inside of the computer by yourself has always been something I've wanted to share with people. Currently, our students are learning how to create hard body models, and then we will be animating those with interactions with 3D characters.
I honestly want to make like a film with my entire class, which I think we are going to at the end of the year. So that's kind of what I want to do.
Students that are interested in being creative, technical, have a computer aptitude, or like to make worlds are very encouraged to take this program.
What made me interested is that I didn't have to be an artist to join. I can just make shapes and figures and make a story out of it.
Anybody who's interested in drawing at all or doing stuff digital on the computer, then they would be interested in it.
My favorite part about this class is that you can work with any other person and know what you're doing.
People you meet in this class, they're really nice.
People in the class, they're very all different, but we also have like the kind of the same interests, so we kind of just all get along together well. The friends that I make, and also like the assignments that we get assigned, so like right now we're having to make a donut, and it's really fun because we're learning all of the different steps to do and like the tools on the program. So I'd probably just say friends and I guess the assignments that he assigns.
My future job is to work at Lucasfilms. I also want to do like motion pictures.
Honestly, just anything involving like 3D animation or doing something art, that'll make me happy. So I would want to be like a 3D animator, but if that doesn't happen, then I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't do art. I'd probably be a social worker. So it's either this or like that.
Don't know yet, but I guess as right now we'll just go to Pixar, I guess, and see what's up there. I heard like they're really good with animators, and they have a lot of visual effects, and they're good with characters.
In this program, we use basic addition, translation, trigonometry, and calculus, but luckily, we've tricked the computer into doing most of it for us.
We work with a lot of software, models, and a lot of references. Doing animation is fun.
And once again, a big thanks to all the students at the CTEC Center. And those students, they do everything. They write the script for this, they direct it, produce it, edit it, they do everything. And then they send it to us that do the math, and then we pass it along to you, just to highlight some of the great things that they're doing at the ROC and CTEC. They've been some great friends of ours for many, many years. This is our 20th season with Do the Math, and I think they've been part of it for a darn near long time, if not almost all of it. All right, right now we will go to the phones, and Grayson, how are you today?
Good.
Good, nice to hear from you. I know we help students of all abilities, all ages, and all grade levels, and I can tell you right now, this is a guaranteed first time we have ever had somebody in first grade on the show like you. So Grayson, let's hear the problem that you're working on.
Choose 3 numbers from 1 to 6 to write the numbers in a added sentence.
All right. Yeah, so I think we've got the idea of what you're doing. You have to pick a couple of numbers between 1 and 6 and make an addition sentence out of it. So, Grayson, pick a couple of numbers you'd like to work with.
I need to show too late to find the answer.
Okay.
Okay, so what 3 numbers do you want to pick?
I'll choose 1, 3, and 4.
Okay. So you have to make an addition sentence. So we can do, since you chose 1, 3, and 4, we can do 1 plus 3 plus 4. And then you have to solve it in 2 different ways, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have 1 plus 3 plus 4. So for the first way, let's just go and start adding by doing 1 plus 3 first. So what do you get when you add 1 plus 3?
You get 4.
Right. And so now we're going to take that answer and we're going to add the 4 on that we have for our third number. So now we have 4 plus 4. So what do we get for that?
That is 8.
Okay, nice job. Okay, so now we're going to start with, there's one way to do it, right? Now we're going to start again with 1 plus 3 plus 4. But since we started with 1 plus 3 last time, we can do 1 plus 4 or we can do 3 plus 4 first. We want to use 2 different numbers than we used before. So how about, since it's already written in order, we do 3 plus 4.
All right.
So what's 3 plus 4?
3 plus 4 equals 7.
Okay. So then I'm going to have 1 plus 7, because I didn't use the 1 yet. So what does that equal?
That equals 8.
Good. So that
go.
shows that when you add it in 2 different ways, you still get 8.
Nicely done, Grayson. And for that great phone call, you've got yourself a couple of, you got yourself a ticket to the Kern County Fair. So learning fact families right there. All right, Micah, time to get you back to work, young man.
Yes.
We're going to play a little game here, all right? So why don't you head on over to that side.
Whoa.
Have you ever heard of the game Plinko?
Plinko?
Now you have. Okay, so down at the bottom, you see there's some different options.
Wait.
What do you think a good option would be to try to shoot for?
Green or yellow, because it's the least common.
So you
making it the rarer.
Okay, so do you think it's more difficult?
More difficult.
Okay, so if you wanted to, like if you had to bet that you're going to get one color over another, which one do you think would be a good bet that you might actually drop it on?
I think I might get it on blue. Green and yellow are harder. And
Why is blue easier?
well, it just feels like it. Red and blue would basically be the same, so it could be any one of those.
Right, because there's two of those and only one green and one yellow.
Yes.
Why don't you take one of the markers here and
Okay.
you can drop it in any one of these slots you want. Now, before you drop it, I want you to determine where do you think it will drop into.
Want to say blue.
You want to say blue? So where are you going to drop it to see if it will drop in blue? Because you can drop it anywhere. Go ahead and try it. Ooh, dropped in red. Now that's pretty close, okay?
Yes.
So you dropped it here, correct?
Yes.
Why?
I was analyzing it and I thought it was going to go.
So you were predicting which one it would hit.
Yes.
So take another one. Do you think you have to move it, or do you think it might drop into blue even though you go in the same way? It might go a different, I mean, because it could bounce either way, right?
Yes. I would say move it to this one or this one.
Give it a try. What do you think?
I'm going to go with this one.
Oh my God.
Red just likes to screw me over.
Well, you got two red.
Okay.
You're still trying for that blue, though.
Well, that means I'm going to have to get blue, green, or yellow.
All right.
Now, I
let's
want to
see.
predict I'm going to get one of these two because I haven't gotten blue yet, and green or yellow.
Well, you want to get a blue. That's your goal still. Yeah, one more shot.
I'm going to drop it down.
Well, you said, oh, yeah, wrong way right there. All right, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to do one more.
10 seconds. I'm just going to
Just random.
go for the gold.
Ooh, you like those reds. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds, all right? Actually, you'll have a couple of minutes, and I want you to think about a strategy for one more. We do have one more opportunity. We're going to go out to Marylou at Minter Field and check out what's going on with Marylou one last time. All right, Marylou.
And Mike, we are back, and I'm in a little different spot right now. I am actually in the airplane that the pilots trained in. And so, Alan, where do we get started now?
Well, see, we ran out of fuel and we had to refuel since the last segment. Normally, this would be closed up. There's another door here that goes here. The hood would come down. So all you can see is your instruments.
And that's to train them with the night vision, that they won't see anything.
They won't.
And they just have to hear.
They have to hear and listen to the guy at the desk. So I'm going to start, let's start by having you push the rudder on the other side. Yeah, push that one forward.
Okay. All the way. Oh, okay. Now, what I remember from going to North High is that we steer with our feet, correct? So I'm pushing the right side, causing this to go to the right side. And I don't want to hit anybody, but if I push with the left, oh, I turned a little bit. Will I go towards the left?
This is where I got my little bit of a leap.
Oh, gotcha.
It will go to the right a whole lot easier
Okay.
than it does.
And then what does this do here?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Go.
Do you want me to go all the way around?
And that's what the motor is driving it from that. So go
Okay.
ahead, push all the way down.
There, up. I'm pushing. There we go. Woo! It is kind of like a ride.
Vacuum leaks are really a problem. So I'll give it just a little bit of a help here.
Okay. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to go a little faster. And you know, I have to put some power on this. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to get you back around here. Now, the other day when I was flying it, I was having a hard time with this airbag, and I don't know if it's got a leak. I mean, that's a constant deal. You do the airbags, you get them fixed, and they're aged.
Yeah.
You know,
And just like a car's constant service.
So we're gonna first go up and down.
Okay.
So,
And these, what are these to hold on?
no,
Okay.
no, those are lights.
Oh,
You
okay.
stick.
Now what does this do? Does that bring me back over? Okay.
So that.
So the throttle moves you left and right that way.
Now, up and down.
Okay.
You'll push your stick forward.
Oh. So I'm going for a dive there, and then I want to pull up to speed up top.
Well, you're actually going to slow down.
Oh.
Because now you're trying to get the airplane to go up.
Okay.
So yes. So you're.
So I can do that. Can I turn it? Is that okay? Balance out.
And your horizon there says.
I'm level. Is that
whether
my
you're
level?
level or not.
Okay, so I am level. So I'm going to go to the right. Now, could I do the throttle a little bit this way? Will it take me?
Are you going to go all the way around, or are you going to turn back?
Nope, I'm going to go. Can I come back around? There we go. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
And even these go up and down.
All right.
I could.
Ooh, okay. I think I need to level out. This was so much fun and so amazing. Now, obviously, when people come to the, let me
You got to
level
keep
out.
on it. It will. If you don't keep on it, it
Yeah,
will.
I noticed it's doing its own thing. So when people come, they obviously cannot get onto this, correct?
Right.
It's for show for them to see. Well, this has been absolutely amazing. Ron, come on over here too. Thank you, gentlemen, for leading us around. There's so much more to see, so much more to do. Please, please, please know that you are open, correct, from Fridays and Saturdays only, 10 to 2. And they are in need of volunteers. So if you are interested, please check out the website. And gentlemen, thank you. I need to come back out because there's so much more to see and do. I thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.
We enjoy having you out.
And that's it. I'm going to fly away in a minute from Mentors Field. Back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks for that, Marylou, and a special thank you to everybody out at Mentor Field. We had a wonderful time, especially when we went out to talk about them, and then once again to go out with Marylou. All right, Micah, you tried to get blue. You ended up on red a lot.
Basically every time.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these out of here right now so that you have another equal opportunity at all of these. So, you came up with another little something, so I'm going to give you one more shot. You want to try to get a blue.
Yes, I wanted to go right here or right here.
Well, which one do you want to do? Go. Oh, so close. But, young man, did you learn a little something today?
Yes.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
That's what we wanted. And until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.